Cup events in 13th currently in the slalom standings. Tamara McKinney is on the course as we begin operation here in the slalom event. Tamara McKinney in 13th position right now in the slalom. In trouble there, Kristen.
Well, she had trouble from the moment she started, and this is not a good sign. Last year, only 14 skiers finished the race. Here already, #1 Tamara McKinney, a great favorite out of the course. She started on the course absolutely out of control. I don't know, she never seemed to get her rhythm going.
Well, this course has certainly not been kind to her, because last year on the second run with a chance to win over Erica Hess, she caught a tip on the third gate from the end, and you can see the disappointment right there.
She was hoping so much for this race to be the start of her comeback. She's had a really rough year, and I just can't, she came right out of the gate, Pete, and just really never got on her skis.
All right, we are looking now at Nadia Bonfini of Italy, a young skier, 20 years old.
Again, up there having a little bit of trouble. They're having trouble getting into their rhythm early in the course. It's very steep on top. They need to go a little bit round and get into a feeling. Now down here, it gets a little bit flatter. She can start to let them run. You can see this new technique with the rapid gates that have hinges right in the snow, and they fall down in front of them. They can carry a much straighter line than they used to be able to.
As we mentioned, Erica Hess, the slalom leader, going into this event by 7 points over Roswitha Steiner. And they'll be battling for that top spot here as we watch Nadia Bonfini come toward the finish line and across at a time of 49 seconds, 0.9. So there's your standard by which to judge, 49 seconds for Nadia Bonfini. Remember, Tamara McKinney is a did not finish. Up now, Olga Charvatova of Czechoslovakia, a 23-year-old skier. She has one of the 7 slalom titles to her credit this year.
She should have learned something, and it looks like she did from the skiers that went down before. She's skiing a little more cautiously, not necessarily cautious, but very solidly. And you need to be solid on that ice steep section up on top. Now she's starting to let them run a little better. You can see her looking ahead, keeping her arms in front of her. She's having a nice solid run.
Her victory of the season came at Piancavallo, Italy, on February 4th of this year.
She is one of the great talents on the World Cup circuit in all 4 events, and perhaps that is one of the reasons that she doesn't win too many races. She's a jack of all trades, perhaps master of none.
You see the time to beat, 49.9, as she heads toward the finish line. The crowd here, which has been dampened a little bit by the snowy conditions, cheering her on. 49.6, so there's your new leader, Olga Charvatova of Czechoslovakia. I should mention, Kristen, that last year they had about 8,000 here for the women's slalom and 15,000 for the men the following day. So the snow has cut down a little bit on the attendance, but this is a great area for folks that like skiing.
Well, and luckily the fog is staying away. Earlier this morning we were completely fogged in, so I think a lot of people thought that perhaps the race wasn't going to come off.
Austrian Roswitha Steiner. She has won 3 of the 7 slaloms this year. She is second in the standings to Erica Hess and could catch her here today.
Roswitha has got to be one of the favorites today. She's on a roll. She's got a lot of momentum going, and she skis like a tiger. She's being cautious on top, which is smart, and I think we'll see her let him go a little bit more on top. She's very tall for a slalom skier, as you can see. She just stands very straight up, much bigger than most of the girls, and knocks those poles out of her way.
Olga Charvatova with the best time to date.
Roswitha's starting to let him go now here. Again, you can already see a little bit of a rut forming. These girls are going to have a little more of a disadvantage against the girls that ran earlier on. But Roswitha is letting them run down here. You need to watch the skis and see that they edge, but not too much. You don't want a lot of snow flying out from the skis. That means you're digging in a bit too much, slowing yourself down. It
appears to be a good run for Steiner. She heads toward the finish line and is our new leader. 48.9. So Steiner into the #1 position ahead of Olga Charvatova and Nadia Bonfini in 3rd place. And now we look at Brigitte Gadiant of Switzerland, one of the many great Swiss skiers.
Well, they have an incredible team. Brigitte is perhaps unusual among the Swiss because she is a slalom specialist. She hardly even runs downhill giant slalom or super G, and when she does, she doesn't really concentrate on it. Most of the Swiss girls are 3 or 4 event skiers, so she concentrates on slalom, and this should be her day. She is certainly looking for it. She's had a good year, but she wants a win this year.
In the slalom standings, she stands 5th right now, behind Schneider, Palan, Steiner, and Hess.
Looks like they're having a little bit of a hold. It could be perhaps to work on the course a little bit. We saw the rut starting to form.
Again, Roswitha Steiner, your leader. Tamara McKinney fell early on the course and is out of the competition. And here goes Gadienne.
Okay, looks like she's skiing well up here. She's a big girl as well. A lot of Swiss big farm girls sort of, and there she went out. When you are big, it's very important to keep your skis underneath you. Right out there, she let her skis get away from her and she couldn't pull them back underneath in time. There's very little room for error in slalom.
And there was the error. We'll get another look at it right here.
She's standing well on her downhill ski right there, moving from ski to ski, but letting them slide a little bit, as you can see. Important to there, she was leaning in, and again there, once again. It sort of built up as she went along until that last skate slid out completely.
Ida Ladstetter of Austria, one of the fine Austria skiers, I should say. She was a third at Marburg to her credit this year.
Ida is a sort of crazy rebel on the Austrian team. She's been on and off it. She really did. Her wild streak doesn't sit well with the Austrian team, but she started to have results this year, probably because of the new coaching staff. She's getting along well with them, and her talent is starting to come out.
She has the best intermediate time, so let's keep an eye on Ladstetter as she goes down the course.
Watch how calm she is with her upper body, and that allows her skis to just run underneath. She's not letting her upper body get in the way with what her legs want to do, and you can see those skis just running, hardly any snow flying up from underneath her. This is the flatter section of the course. This is where it's important to let those skis run as much as possible.
So here she comes, and Steiner is the time to beat, and she has not done that. She goes into second place. Ida Ladstetter in second now, ahead of Olga Charbatova. Skiers here, and we start with the very best, Erika Hess, who is the current point leader in the slalom standings out of Switzerland. 4 of the last 5 years she has won the slalom title, and when she wasn't winning that one year, she won the giant slalom crown. That was the year that Tamara McKinney won the slalom title.
Also important to note that she is the defending champion here in the Park City Slalom. She won last year, and she is skiing well this year. She is really on her way to becoming one of the great women skiers of all time. She has 26 World Cup victories to her name, and 18 of them came in slalom.
She has one slalom victory to her credit this year. That in Sauvignon. That was this season, I should say. That was December 1985. And here she goes, Erika Hess.
Okay, now I just think she's got a fantastic style. Look at how quiet she is compared to the problem some of the other girls are having on the top. She looks like she's just out for a Sunday promenade. The important thing is that she's not holding back too much and that she lets those skis run, but she has had a great run on top.
Let's see how she's doing. We're going to get a barometer right there. It is best under 20 seconds for Erika Hess.
That is she is ahead by a huge margin. In 20 seconds to be ahead that much is a lot, and you can see why. Look at how nice and quiet and smooth she's skiing. Letting her skis run, keeping her upper body nice and quiet, and working from ski to ski. Watch how she works from one gate to the next, gaining speed in every turn.
A solid run. She needs a second place or better to get any World Cup points, and she's going after that right now. Erika Hess, the winner here last year, vaults into first place with a time of 48.3. So it is Hess now over Roswitha Steiner and Ida Ladstetter. A fine run for Erika Hess, 24 years old, member, the leader of the Swiss pack, if you will. Our next skier is Mateja Svet of Yugoslavia.
Starting to snow a little heavier now on top. That's going to put a little more snow down on the course and make the visibility a little more tough. If anything, though, slalom is the easiest event to run while it is snowing because the gates are so close together. It's not quite so hard to keep perspective on where you're going.
Now, the 17-year-old Svet, you get a pretty good idea of what the visibility factor has become suddenly here as the snow gets a little more intense. At age 17, this young lady has to be a star on the horizon.
We have been waiting for her to come along for many years. We've seen her. She has been talented and doing well since she was 14 years old in NORAM races and Europa Cup races. She led in the first run of the slalom and giant slalom World Junior Championships last year, fell in both of them on the second run, but that gave an idea of her talent.
If anyone is liable to take a straight line here, it is her.
And that is exactly what she did. You called it, Pete. She went a little too straight for the steepness up there. So important to be smart, to ski smart on top. You can't just go all out right in the beginning. It's too steep and too icy.
Kristen, if you are Brigitte Ortli of Switzerland right now, are you thinking just get down the hill?
Well, it depends. You want to learn from the mistakes that everyone else is making and ski cautiously and ski smart. But as well, there's a big opening for these girls behind now. Good race.
All right, the intermediate time, the best, 19.6. And it's an accomplished accomplishment for Ortley just to get to that intermediate time. 5 of the last 5 skiers have gone down.
And just like last year, there's getting to be already a huge differential in time from the first racers and the fastest racers to these ones. Down here, the course is still smooth. She should be able to make it through here. You can see how hard it's snowing, even down at the bottom now. But look at what a nice line she's taking. Really having a good run down here. She may make up some time from that slow halfway.
Brigette Ortley heading toward the finish line. The crowd urging her on. They haven't seen a finisher in quite some time. She ends up in 4th position behind Ida Ladstetter. So Brigette Ortley, the first skier in 6 to survive the course, and I get the impression that is what she's talking about right there. I made it. It's difficult. Wow.
These girls are so used to going all out, it's tough for them to hold back and try and just make it down the course. Here is a favorite, Perrine Pelin. Certainly someone that you can never count out. She is a wild skier and she is a fighter.
Hasn't won any this year, but she's always there. She is in 3rd position in the overall slalom standings today.
And she was 2nd place here last year, so she knows how to ski this hill. And she also is very good in adverse conditions. Perrine pulls them off when no one else will. When everyone else is complaining, Perrine goes up there, gives it a smile, and gives it everything she has. And she's doing that today. It looks like she's skiing well.
She comes through in the big events. 1980 Olympics, she won a medal. 84, she won 2. 1985, she won the World Championships of gold in the slalom.
Skiing great down here. Really nice skiing. Working well from ski to ski. Perrine could get in there.
Heading for home, the time to beat, 48.3. It belongs to Erica Hess in 4th position.
That's not a bad finish considering the conditions, how they've deteriorated since the first girls came down.
Blanca Fernandez Ochoa is next to go as 7 skiers have completed the course, 8 have not.
And you notice the helmet that she's wearing. It's very interesting. It's a new innovation on the World Cup. That's not trouble. The helmet didn't help her.
Make it 9.
I was going to say it's the helmets are there to help knock the gates out of the way without moving your goggles off your face. But it didn't give her any help today. It's a tough day. Everyone is having a lot of trouble. It's slick on top. It's steep. The conditions are bad, and these girls are tired, and the combination is making it for a rough day on the World Cup.
This is just something that you don't see happen very often.
She's a really nice, solid skier, and you can see that she's standing well on her downhill ski, got her arms a little bit away from her, and couldn't get it back together.
As the course continues to be the winner here today, as we look at American Eva Twerdoken, she's going to try now to not only satisfy herself, but make up for the disappointment of Tamara McKinney.
Eva knows what has happened to so many girls on the course, and she's going to use those lessons and try to ski very well on top. And there she got into a little trouble. Pulled it off, no problem. She's going to lose a little bit of time there. It's so tough, they can't see the ruts that have formed on the course, so they need to just take them as they come, and they're bouncing Eva's skis around. Not a good halfway time. She's almost 3 seconds out at the halfway.
Currently 24th in the slalom standings on the World Cup Tour. You take anything right now, Kristen, I think.
So tough to ski well. Really, as you said, the course is the winner here, and these girls are just trying to survive it and make it to the finish.
She lost a lot of time early when she was really out of control, but she hung in there, and the important thing is it appears now she will have a second run. Listen to the crowd. And across in 9th place, but I would imagine she'll take it. So here are the leaders after the first.
Very closely by Roswitha Steiner of Austria, and then it's Ladstetter of Austria, Pelin of France, and Ortley of Switzerland. Right now,
Brigette Ortley in 5th place. Hello again. Top 15.
Eva had a heck of a run on the first run. She was wild. She struggled and battled and fought all the way down. She's going to try and smooth out this run, and so far she's skiing much better. She simply went too straight on the first run and fought the course. She's going to try and make it work with her this time.
So Eva's intermediate time will be the standard since our first skier has gone down.
And the sun comes out for Eva. The visibility is so much better. She can really let him run. She has nothing to lose. Sitting in 14th place after the first run, that does nothing for her. She ought to be going all out.
And she may get some slalom points here. She's 24th in the women's slalom currently, trying to move up.
Much bigger turns this run, as you can see. It was set by a different person from another country. Much more room between the gates. A little bit slower, a bit more room to work for speed between the gates.
Oh, the crowd gives her a fine reception. 52 seconds, .3 for Eva Twerdoken.
She'll have to wait and see just how good that is.
Well, she has to be pleased with herself in just making 2 successful runs, and that second one much better form, as you indicated, Kristen. Interesting to look at the top 15 here in the second run. 5 of those of the top 15 were in the top 15 last year.
And now Ulrike Meyer, only 18 years old. Her best finish in slalom ever came last year with an 8th place in Arosa, Switzerland. So she hasn't had a lot of consistent results this year, but she's got the potential, as you can see. Very aggressive skier, good on her downhill ski. Everyone's skiing so much smoother this run. They've got to like this course better, and they've got to like the visibility.
Meyer heading for the finish line. The top time so far, the only finisher, Eva Tordokens. 52.36 for this run, 1:45.15 total. And here comes Meyer.
Very turny down here on the bottom as it flattens out. Important to work from ski to ski and work for speed. You can't just sit there and let the next gate come to you. You need to go to it.
I think, too, with the weather turning a little bit better, the crowd is bigger for this second run. And in second place is Ulrike Meyer.
So Eva's time is looking better and better.
Monica Hess will be next. As we indicated earlier, she is the cousin of Erika, also from Switzerland, 21 years old this year with a 9th place finish at Sestriere, her best finish.
Monica has probably lived in her cousin's shadow for too many years and has shown a lot of potential, but really hasn't fulfilled the promise yet. Maybe today will be the day.
Well, it's certainly a very big shadow when you're talking about Erika Hess. But this is Monica. You watch her come down the top of the hill.
So we can see how turny it is up here. But again, it's smoother than last run, and they can see better, so they know better what to do with the course. Working well from ski to ski, trying to be quiet with the upper body. And again, these girls right now are so far behind from the first run, they really need to take some risks and some chances in order to do anything for themselves in the overall standings.
That is listed as the second best intermediate time. And it is Monica Hess.
Notice how they don't even get their whole bodies around the gates anymore. The gates fall down as soon as they hit them, so they don't need to get their whole body around it. They just knock it down with their chest or their head or their goggles, whatever gets there.
If you can negotiate the top of this course, it appears in the second run, just keep it together and you're going to get across the finish line, as does Monica Hess, moving into second position over Ulrike Meyer, and behind, or check that, we now move her, the computer moves her into first place ahead of Eva Tordokens.
She was enough ahead of Eva in the overall.
So Krista Kinshofer now from the Netherlands is on the course.
Interesting story about Krista Kinshofer. She was the Giant Slalom World Cup champion in 1980, winning 5 Giant Slalom wins. Since then, she didn't do anything. She got kicked off the German team, and she is now skiing for Holland, working her way back up through the seeds.
And looking for her first slalom points of the season.
Looking to me like she's going a bit straight up on top for how turny it is. As a result, she's just sort of surviving the course instead of gaining speed between the turns.
It appears that all the skiers beginning to lose a little speed right in this area here.
They need to give themselves enough room to make nice clean turns and to work for speed between the gates. If they go too straight, they have to jam their skis sideways after each turn. That slows them down naturally.
At 52.68, the time to beat here. And we're looking at 51 seconds.
So she fooled us. She had a good run there. They have had a better time in the first run than the girl that preceded her. That's why Eva Tordokens, who still holds the fastest time for this run, is getting moved back in the overall standings because she was far enough behind after the first run. But now Adelaide Gap, a young girl as well, new on the World Cup, just trying to get her feet underneath her, trying to gain some points and experience.
She has 2 13th place finishes so far in the season. That's her best.
Skiing very aggressively down here on the bottom, where it is important to be aggressive as it flattens out. You need to work for speed. Adelaide seems to be doing that quite well. Being nice and quiet with her upper body, standing up tall, working from ski to ski.
And the 20-year-old heading for the finish line and crosses it. And again, this crowd here at Park City really letting the girls know that they're behind them, the Europeans as well as the Americans. And Gap now, with her total time, a fast run here of 50.7 puts her into first place, 141.49. But that could change as we now look at Malgorzata Taloka Magori.
There's a lot of experience here in Małgorzata. She has been around and she's won races before. She knows how to do it, and she skied very well here last year, taking 4th place in Park City last year.
So she has survived this hill once before, and that is an accomplishment.
I spoke with her between runs, and she felt that she was rough and didn't get her rhythm going on the first run. She was going to try out of the start to be a bit smoother, looking for some flow. Getting those skis to rhythmically turn down the hill, not fighting the course, not fighting the hill, but working together with it.
Second best halfway time for McGorry. Skiing for France now.
A very strong skier, as you can see. She's tall, she's strong, she's got big legs, she's strong in the upper body. She's using that to her advantage down here on the flats, working from gate to gate. Watch her bat the poles out of the way, not letting them get in her way, just moving them out as she comes by.
She'll try to stop the timer ahead of everyone else, and the time there, the second best run of the second run. And we'll just hold on now as we see where that puts her. That puts her in second place for the combined runs, exactly 0.2 of a second behind Adelaide Gopp. So McGorry in second, Kinshofer in third, Strobel in fourth, and Monica Hess in fifth at this juncture. Now getting toward the speed burners of the first round, and this is Olga Charvatova of Czechoslovakia, the 23-year-old, going forward here now.
Olga's a little bit disenchanted with her performance this year. She felt she just hasn't been inspired and hasn't had a lot of spunk. She told me that today, well, it's like all days for me on the World Cup this year. Just nothing special.
Well, her first place victory, she has won in the slalom. That came in February. It's been a while between victories.
And sometimes when you think everything's not going well, that's when you let loose and ski the best. So we certainly can't count her out today. She's always a force to be reckoned with.
Olga Charvatova.
Very strong, solid skier, as you can see. Just stands there, doesn't worry about the gates. Good and solid on her downhill ski. Working from ski to ski. We're seeing a lot of much better skiing on this second run than we did on the first run.
And that's to the delight of the Park City fans, as again they roar their approval for Olga Charvatova. Third place time in the second run, but she advances to first place. So we have a new leader in the competition here, the women's slalom at Park City, Utah.
The trouble there right at the top for Perrine. Perrine is prepared for battle this second run. She needs points for the overall World Cup and for the slalom title, and she really wants to go all out.
She still could catch Erica Hess, but she needs victory, and one right here.
She's just having some troubles here. It doesn't look like she's found her rhythm yet. Maybe when she gets off the steep and onto the flat, she'll find her rhythm. Bigger turns here on this second run, needing to work from ski to ski and work for speed. Now it looks like she's getting into a little better rhythm. That looks more like Perrine.
Pullan looking for her first victory of the 1985-86 season in the slalom. She has a couple of seconds, but has not won yet. Here she comes, and all we can do is watch the clock as she gives those last little effort for more precious seconds. And the run is only the fourth best here in the second go-round. And we'll see what that does to Pullan. It puts her in second place now over Roswitha Steiner, who has won 3 on this season. Then going after Erica Hess for the slalom title. She needs a victory.
Roswitha, probably the most consistent slalom skier this year on the World Cup. Getting her rhythm going on the top. She needs to really go all out down here. A little bit of trouble there. Again, these are big, long turns for slalom. The girls feel a little bit slow and sluggish in this type of course where there's so much room between the gates.
Very slow first half for Steiner.
Indeed. I was thinking she was looking slow, and she was. She's just not working quite so quickly between the gates. She needs to get a little more quickness going. It's going to be tough for her. There's no room for mistakes here on this second run. We're seeing a lot of world-class skiing.
Kristen, she's going to have to get quick in a hurry because the finish line is approaching. Roswitha Steiner in second place, going into this run in second place on the season standings, and that's the 10th, only the 10th fastest time of the second run. And let the computer go to work here. And
so the race is wide open for Erica Hess.
That was not 15, that's 5th place for Steiner. And here is Erica Hess. She won here last year. She leads the slalom standings, as I indicated earlier. 4 of the last 5 years. She is the slalom champion. She is second in the overall. She's just a doggone good skier.
We are watching a world champion at work here. And her first last run was incredible. Considering the conditions and the visibility, she skied beautifully. And if she can do it again this run, she's got the race in the bag. She can't afford to hold back, however. She's leading by 6/10 over Roswitha Steiner, who just had a very slow second run. But even still, she needs to go all out because that's the safest way to ski. If she holds back, that's when she's going to run into trouble.
Even if she holds that fourth fastest time in the second run, I think it could hold up over Olga Sharbatova, who is in second place because of the combined times. Erica Hess.
Looks like she's skiing a little bit cautiously in here. Of course, she feels that she's got a little bit of room to play with, but she can't hold back too much. Olga Sharbatova had a world-class run.
Because of the scoring, she needs a second or better to advance in the standings, get any points. And here she comes, Erica Hess, battling for yet another slalom title, fifth fastest run of the second half of the competition.
Easily takes the overall title for today, though. Erica Hess is excited about her race.
A repeat winner, Erica Hess. Kristen, it would appear unlikely that anybody can catch Erica Hess as we check the standings. Olga Sharbatova in second place. Perrine Palan, again, showing her consistency in third. Gopp in fourth. And McGorry in fifth. Erica Hess, you'd have to say, I guess the run was just good enough to win.
Well, she did hold back a little bit, but she knows herself very well, and she knows how much to give out and how much to hold back. She didn't want to make mistakes. She's told me before that there's been times when she's lost races completely because she took too many risks. So I think here's someone that has a lot of experience and knows how to win races.
She's going to like this place so much she might come here and visit in the off-season. Erica Hess, appearing to be a two-time winner here at Park City. We're going to take a little breather from the activity at Park City and take a time out.
And second fastest time of the second run. Giardelli, a winner here a year ago, right now in fifth position. And these are the standings at this point. It is Rock Petrovic, followed by Zurbriggens, Denmark, Cole Bichler, and then Giardelli. More to come from Heavenly Valley, California, so stay with us. Men's slalom, Rock Petrovic of Yugoslavia picking up his fifth win, beating Zurbriggens, Denmark, Cole Bichler, and Giardelli. Surprising great performance by him. Now let's check in with Pete Levengood in Park City.
Thank you, Greg. Here are the final standings in the Subaru Park City World Ski Classic. Erica Hess for the second year in a row, taking first prize here. Olga Sharbatova in second place. Perrine Palan of France in third. Adelaide